is a Skyrim sticker, and the other is, I'm forgetting, it might be Fallout. I got them from the same store, and they were really, really bad quality. Unfortunately, I will not buy from that store again. I thought they would be cool because they're holographic, but they almost immediately started like peeling off, and now it's been like several months and they're completely coming off. But I have a lot of backup stickers. Like, I have actually a ton. everyone likes reading it is for the romance between the two main characters, which, like I said, is fun in the first book. But when you have a couple get together in the first book, then a lot of authors struggle in the next books for how they can keep things like tense between them, and so they often just throw them in weird situations, and that's all it's felt like. It felt like book 2 and 3, there's just like something keeping them apart, and it just gets annoying, and I just kind of stopped caring about them, to be honest. I didn't really care for them as a couple. Speaking of that, like creating problems for couples, back in January when I was on my little trip with my friends, one of my friends told me that I needed to watch New Girl. She loves the show, and she was really surprised that I hadn't seen it. And I don't know why I didn't watch it. I remember when the show was coming out, and I'm pretty sure I just really wasn't the target demographic at the time. Like, I was too young. I was in high school when the show started coming out, and so I really didn't care about the antics of like 30-something-year-old roommates. It just wasn't for me. But I started watching it now that I'm closer to the right age, and I definitely find it more cute and relatable, even if they're definitely like a whole other generation, right? It's really funny. Some of the things they say really dates the show as being exact appliances I would have chosen. Like, if they work, it's fine, right? But the dishwasher was probably the worst of all the appliances. So I'm not surprised they bit the dust first. Like my stove and my fridge, microwave, they're all good. Even my washer dryer, good. So I became a dishwasher extraordinaire. I did so much research, learned about what today's dishwashers are like, and it was so cool because all the appliances are from like 2017, and you know, a fair few years have passed since then, so the technology has changed since then, and I felt like I was like entering the future. It was very, very cool. It's like, look at all the things that they can do now, and this car or give it up or something, I will actually be sad because she has been there almost my entire life. From the time when I was a really, really tiny girl. There is on the mirror. Why can't I today? It's like dead brain day. The rear view mirror. On the rear side writing bestseller novels, and I decided maybe it's time for her to get serious and like settle down a bit. There was like this guy she'd been talking to, and they had like chemistry. They had like the little lightning bolt chemistry symbols. So I invited him over, and then they had like a really good date. And you know, when a date is so good that you immediately ask the person to move in with you, that's what happened. And then, you know, when you invite the guy who you've only been on one date with to move in with you, and then you find out he has a teenage son, and the teenage son also now lives with you, that's what happened. So boom, this guy and his fully teenage son moves in with my sim, and she was like, kind of a deal breaker, didn't know this was gonna happen. And she like has a 2-bedroom, but one of the rooms is her office. Okay, that's where she writes her bestseller novels, so like he can't have that room. So what am I gonna do? So I decided to kick them out, but I didn't really know what I was doing, and I had her and her cat say find a new place. When you say find a new place, it moves you out. So then the guy and his son were stuck in my house while I had just moved me and my cat out. And then you can go back to like the main menu and put them in a new place, but the bulk of the money was still in that house. I was gonna take his money. However, when I went back to the main menu, and I saved before I did this, stupid. When I went back to the main menu and grabbed my sim, well, first of all, I noticed just our cat. Like it was like a family, and the portrait was just a single cat. I'm like, that's weird. Did it split me and my cat up? Odd. Nope. My sim is now this weird, invisible, null thing. My game completely bugged out. It renamed her like user underscore 001. Like, it messed with the name. You could not see her. And I put them back in the house that I was living in to, I don't know, to like fix it, and the whole game sort of froze. Like you could move around, but it was like the game was paused. No one would do anything, even though time was passing. And the sim was still missing. And because I had saved right before this, I knew there was no fixing it. So basically I lost all that. I lost 4 hours of Sims gaming, which is a total waste of my time. But you know what? That is actually like the Sims experience, is playing for so long that you lose track of time, and then something happens and you lose everything, and you're like, oh, what have I been doing with my life? I actually firmly remember that from being a child. I was gonna tell this story in my Sims video that I made, but I didn't, and I'm gonna tell it now. But years and years ago, well, actually, to tell it, let me go back in time a little bit more to the first time I ever played The Sims. Now, I had seen the game, and like I really liked going to like Best Buy and stuff. Whenever my parents would take me to some sort of store, I remember seeing the displays for The Sims, and it looked so fun. It looked like, you know, like a dollhouse, and I liked dolls, but I couldn't play computer games or any sort of games unless they were like educational. I had some educational games, and so I would always look longingly at the Sims display. Oh, so pretty. If only one day, my sweet, I will come for you and we will play Sims. One day after dance or before dance, I was in dance from like the age 3 to 18. So at a young age, like 7 years old or so, 7 or 8, I want to say 8, guess that kind of makes sense. 2009. No, it was before that though. Okay, looks like they started going bankrupt and closing stores in 2008, which definitely doesn't track with my memory. I thought I was younger than that. Point was, I was still fairly young, and my mom took me to this closing, and as you can guess, I ventured to the PC gaming section, because I always used to do that like a kid in a candy store with my hands up on the glass, like, games, 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 games. And I saw heavily discounted The Sims 2 Deluxe. It was a bundle with like Sims 2 and Sims 2 like Nightlife, the one with vampires. And because it was so like 90% off or something, my mom agreed to get it for me. I was ecstatic. I want to say that this was before my dance class, because I feel like I have a memory of all I could think about in dance as I'm at the bar of my little foot going bloop. So I'm like, oh my god, I get to install this when I go home. Oh my god, I can't wait to play. I'm gonna stay up all night playing this. And that began my intense love affair with The Sims. And I played the game for a few years. Now, also about 2009, The Sims 3 was coming out. So I played Sims 2 at the very end of its life cycle. It must have been pre-2009 though, because they were still making expansion packs. But anyway, I played it for a few years, and then The Sims 3 came out, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it right away, because I only just started playing Sims 2, and that was the only PC game I had. However, I think there was some sort of sale, like Target had like a bundle or something, and I remember knowing that I was gonna go pick it up and play Sims 3, and I knew in my heart that once I moved on to Sims 3, I wouldn't go back to Sims 2. You know, when you move on to the sequel, unless the sequel's really, really bad, you're probably not going back. And The Sims 3 was really good. So I have this distinct memory sitting at my little computer desk with my chunky PC playing Sims 2. I was decorating a house, and I remember thinking, wow, this is really cool, but I'm never gonna play this again. This is it. When I turn this off, I'm not coming back to this game. And I turned it off, and I installed The Sims 3 not long after, and I didn't go back until yesterday, and I played it again as a much, much older lady. And it was so, I don't know, it was like coming home. It was great. I had a lot of fun playing the OG Sims the other day, but Sims 2 is my OG Sims, because it was my first real video game that wasn't like a typing game. I mean, I did play a couple of little kids games, but this was like a slightly more adult game, you know, that I got to play. Okay, I don't know why I told you all that. Just a funny story. You know, my whisper rambles, I will talk about anything and everything, and you just never know. This has done wonders for cheering me up, though. I do feel significant